Welcome to Southern Vermont Anglers. I'm Aaron, your host.
And I'm Sean.
Ready to catch some fish?
Let's do this.
This week on Southern Vermont Anglers, Aaron and Sean head out to Lake Sadaga. Sean catches his personal record, and Aaron gives us some tips on lures and bait presentation. Stay tuned for more.
This is a Lucky Craft Pointer 100. The reason I choose this color is because it's kind of natural looking. It's moderately translucent. And on a real sunny day in decent clear water, I want a bait that's going to look as natural as possible. If that water was real murky, I'd be throwing something a little brighter just to draw some attention. The knot I'm using there is a clinch knot. Seems to work well with fluorocarbon. See what we can make happen. Some days they like it sitting for a while, and other days they want it ripping back to the boat about as fast as you can work it. What you want that bait to do is it's a suspending bait, so even in 2 or 3 feet of water, that bait will just sit there and not sink, not float, it'll just suspend. So what you want to do is you want to make sure there's some slack in your line, and then you just pop the slack. Pop the slack like that. And what that does is it will cause that bait to dart erratically. And it will represent a wounded bait fish. And a bass's instinct is to kill wounded bait fish like that. I'm getting in the grass again. And if you were to pop this bait, if you can see this, I don't know if you can see that bait in the water, but when you reel that bait, it's just gonna go like this if you're just dragging that bait. Whereas if you pop the slack in your line, it's going to dart around erratically, and it's going to have a lot more natural presentation in the water. Now all we got to do is find some big ones. When you pop your... Well, I caught a bass, but it's a small one. Hard to believe a fish that size would hit a bait that big, but they will. Easy, fella, easy. It's great too, because fishing a jerkbait like that, you never know if you got one, and you go to pop the slack in your line, and then all of a sudden you feel your rod load up. Not necessarily on that big guy, but it's a fun way to fish. Or this is a reaction bait, so you're not actually trying to pique the fish's appetite. It's more, they see something go by and they're just gonna try to hit it, to kill it. I've had fish hit a jerkbait like this and have a bluegill in its mouth, and I don't know how it could fit another bait in its mouth. So that'll tell you right there, they're not hitting it because they're hungry. They're hitting it because it's a reaction to the bait going by them. Presentation is everything though.
Still to come, Sean catches his personal record bass on Lake Sadaga. Stay tuned for more Southern Vermont Anglers.
Using a spinner bait. Got 2 spinning blades on it. It's pretty flashy in the water. Slow roll it, slow moving bait. You can rip it, depends on what the fish want. So kind of do a little bit of everything until I get them biting, and then you can pattern them. Feels like a pickerel. Just a little pickerel. Yeah, I'm gonna switch baits, I think. This is a jig, a grass jig. This is a bait that it's heavy. It's got a heavy 3/4 ounce weight on the end of it. Imitates a crawfish with the little flippers in the bottom. It's weedless. The hook's there, and then this stiff bristle keeps it from getting hung up in the weeds. So you flip it out in a milfoil or the grass and let it sink to the bottom, and you can just hop it on the bottom a little bit and it will trigger a bass to strike a lot of times. Works decent. Use braid line with that. If you present the right bait to them, then you usually will get them. Find a school of them on a mid-lake hump and sit there for an hour and catch 20 of them. Oh, fish. Fish on. It's big.
Don't horse them too much.
Oh, it's a pretty good one. Look at that thing.
Easy, ease them up, ease them up, ease them up.
Don't lose that thing. Holy crap. That, my friends, is a 6-pound bass.
We'll weigh them just to be sure. There you go.
See that
I'll
thing.
get the scale.
Get the mouth on that thing.
582. That, my friends, is what a 5.5 pounder, 6 pounder looks like.
Look at how long it is. Yeah, good. You like it? Throwing them back. That's what fishing is all about right there. Goodbye.
Stay tuned for more on Southern Vermont Anglers.
In the summertime, these little islands that you see here with like that brushy looking stuff, it's a hard line and it's about 3 or 4 feet deep, and they love that stuff because it's got roots coming out of it, and it's a good spot for them to hunker down and hide and just wait for unsuspecting bait fish to go wandering by, and they come darting out of that stuff. I find them in a lot of real thick stuff, but at the same time, this particular body of water, I've caught them right out in the middle in 7 feet of water in the dead of the summer, flipping a similar representation to the jig, but it's just a straight EWG hook with like a flipping bait, they call it, like a D-bomb or something that represents like a little creature bait. It's got some appendages and has a lot of action going in the water, and I'll put like a 1/4 ounce or a 3/16 ounce bullet weight on it with a bobber stop to peg the weight. And I'll just find a milfoil bed and I'll just flip that thing around, because those fish will sit in that milfoil, and when you drop a bait right by them, they can't handle it. They'll pick it up almost every time in the summertime. Tell them to grab me an HDS 12 Gen 2 Touch. Put it on my tab. Right now, this water is this. We're filming a TV show.
I can hear everything he's saying
Oh,
on the phone.
No, I don't think so. You don't need nothing, do you?
no.
No, we're all set.
I got more stuff than Bass Pro anyways. What I'm doing here, the reason I'm running my rod tip up, is because I'm trying to manipulate the depth of that bait. If I were to reel that bait with my rod tip down, it's probably going to go down another 2 or 3 feet, and then I'd be right in the weeds and grass really bad. Smart. Well, we got it on film. Be the only big one we catch today.
All I can do on the editor is I can take a snapshot of the put it on there and
You always know when you get in the grass with these baits, feel it. That's why every once in a while you see me grab my rod and try to pop it so that the grass pops free off my bait. But you watch my rod tip when I cast this thing out. How you can tell it's swimming right is watch the vibration on that tip. That's that wobble in that square bill. And when it stalls, you either got a fish or you've gotten in the grass. That's a fish. Sometimes popping it through the grass like that's all you got to do. Pickerel, pickerel. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. That's a pickerelli. Slimy thing. Nasty. I don't mind catching them. I like catching fish. I don't care what kind it is. Oh, there's a fish. Just a little guy. Pickerel, pickerel.
Pickerel.
Perfect. We'll be right back after these commercials. It's all around warp speed. Wow. It's kind of blowing that way. But
Oh, fish on.
where are you?
Pulling hard.
You need me to lip him? Here, swing him towards the.
Definitely a bass.
Oh, look him right here.
Definitely a nice bass.
Get him right up over here. Easy, easy, easy. There we go.
Nice 3-pounder.
See how he was hooked? Right in the corner of the mouth. Almost didn't get that one.
Both hooks.
Well, that one slapped up and got him in the gill plate. There you go.
Not nice and like the other one, but nice 3-pounder. Nice bass.
They're biting. They're biting.
Colors. Old trusty dusty strike kin. Spinnerbait.
Spinnerbait bite's fun. Oop, there's a fish.
You need a net? Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
Easy, baby. Let me swim him for a second. Oh, don't get wrapped up in the troll mower.
Oh, it's a feisty one.
He's feisty.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Nice one.
There we go. It's probably a three pounder or so. Nice looking fish. Starting to eat up.
Now the bite's coming on, or we found some fish, one or the other.
Hopefully there's just a big school of them here and we'll be in them for a while.
This is what we've been looking for all day.
Spinnerbait bite is a blast because you just feel those blades vibrating.
Everything just stops.
You feel the blades vibrating through the water, and then all of a sudden your rod just loads up. And you don't even have to set the hook on them, you just lean back on them.
Oh, got a fish. Not bad. Bass.
I'm gonna lip it. Come over here. Okay. There you go. See that? This right here is what I'll show you. This is why you have a trailer hook. See where the hook is? You just nipped it. And that's when you can still get them. That's why I run trailer hooks on all my spinnerbaits. There you go.
Nice little fish.
That's our show. Thanks for watching Southern Vermont Anglers.
I got more stuff than Bass Pro anyways.